we have to take advantage of the movers and shakers when they walk in the room, and so because they have a heavy agenda and a lot of demands on their time. So we want to bring right on, because it's suited them to come now, have them address us for a couple of minutes. A name that all of you are very familiar with, I'm sure, one of the champions of true liberty and out-of-the-box and heritage and all of the neat things about olive trees that we all endorse and hang on to here in this country. I present to you Congressman Ron Paul.
Thank you very much. A few years ago, my staff asked me about attending one of your meetings, and I said, what kind? They said, they're farmers, and they like to raise their own food and take care of themselves. I said, well, a farm group, I have to be careful because maybe all they want are farm subsidies. They assured me, no, that's not their angle. They'd like to just get the government off their backs and put them around. I said, well, I better go meet some. And then since that time, I've met a lot of you, and I think it's a fantastic group. And it just may be that it will be very practical someday. It doesn't have to be very necessary to be self-reliant and know how to take care of myself. So that to me is very important. But I have been a champion of limited government for a long time, and that means I don't like regulations. If there are regulations, they have to be very local. And one time somebody called me on this. We were talking about medical regulations and medical reforms, at the national level. And there was another doctor on, and he accused me. He says, Dr. Paul's okay, he says, but he has too much faith in the goodness of man, that they'll take care of themselves. And I got to thinking, I didn't get a chance to answer, I wish I had on the TV, but I got to thinking, well, what are those people who don't believe in the goodness of man and his ability to take care of themselves? They believe in the goodness of their man taking care of everybody through the government, and they usually mess everything up. So there is definitely an alternative to government regulating and telling us what to do. This past week, or Monday, I was over at the Ohio State University talking to the colleges, and which I do frequently go to campuses. And I decided that they're more or less spontaneously in my school. I had been talking, a little bit about performing, but I said, maybe when a couple things we'll notice when we're winning this fight. I said, the first thing when you notice, when you have the right to freely drink raw milk and raise hemp, then you'll know we're making some progress. But today we're dealing with a very important subject on the House floor. I just came to the House floor and I had my 5 minutes to say. It's a 3-hour debate on something that should be vital to every American, and that has to do with the Afghanistan war. The war has been going on for nearly 9 years and drained about $1 trillion out of our coffers. And there's no end in sight. And of course I objected to the war there, the war in Iraq. I had this very old-fashioned idea that you shouldn't fight a war unless the Congress declares a war. And not before that. And yet now, after 9 years, we're finally having a debate. But unfortunately, the results will overwhelmingly support stay there forever. And never question the fact that this war was not, declared by the Congress or by the people. And it's very, very hard to stop something once it gets started. But what we have allowed to happen is we have allowed the executive branch of government, and both domestically and internationally, to have too much power. I mean, the executive branch writes the regulations, they write executive orders, they make statements, and it's the fault of the Congress. The Congress defers to the executive branch. And then on top of that, we have the abuse of the judicial system that comes in, and they legislate as well. The Congress does a lot of legislating, and essentially all the wrong kind of legislation. I have one type of legislation that I introduced that I like, and that is legislation to start repealing some of the things that we've had to suffer with. course, I think most of the people know that I take a strong stand on sound money. And I of course, take the position that it's unconstitutional to have a Federal Reserve System. But in the meantime, we've been working very hard and have made progress in demanding that we have an audit of the Federal Reserve and exactly who's benefiting from that internet or from our bank. Today, though, I believe the biggest threat to is really the debt overhanging us, and it's done because Congress, the executive branch, and the judicial system are doing things that they should be doing. They're not constitutional. Our freedoms are being undermined, and I'm convinced that we're less safe now because we're the policemen of the world. We're in 135 countries, 700 bases overseas. We have built billion-dollar base embassies in Iraq as well as Afghanistan, and getting ready to build a fortress in London, of all places. And all this adds up, whether it's the domestic welfare system or the empire that we're trying to maintain. It adds up, and the debt is exploding, and the debt cannot be paid. The only thing that a country does when a debt gets this big is they liquidate the debt by destroying the money, and that is what's happening. The Federal Reserve literally in the midst of